And we are live. Welcome, mystery and thriller fans. I'm your on-air host, Sara DiVello, and I am so delighted to welcome the incredible Rachel Howzell Hall here to spill the tea about her red-hot, brand new book, These Toxic Things. Rachel, welcome to Mystery and Thriller Mavens. Tell us about this book.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. I'm so happy to be here. Happy Monday, everybody. Yes, These Toxic Things, which, I just love this cover. And I love
this cover.
The naked part too. It's just incredible.
Ooh, but I didn't even strip her down.
Strip her down.
Ooh,
she did a wonderful job.
Ooh la la.
Yeah. And so These Toxic Things is about a digital scrapbooker, Mickey Lambert, who curates people's memories into like this Alexa device, basically. So it's like a memory bank. Tell me about my honeymoon and Niagara Falls. And so this memory bank will give you pictures and a brief narrative about Niagara Falls and what you did there. And that's Mickey's job. And so she's charged with curating the memories of Nadia Denham, who owns a curio store in South Los Angeles, my neighborhood down the hill. But Nadia, after the first day of working on this memory bank, she winds up dead. And they don't know. It seems to be a suicide, but there may not be. But Mickey continues working on Nadia's memories, which are these 13 odd items, just random things like a music box or a hedgehog keychain, a kaleidoscope. These are Nadia's memories, and there's something weird about these memories. And Mickey is going to find out what these memories, these little tchotchkes are.
Mickey is going to find out what these tchotchkes are. Rachel, we got so much to talk about, and to get into every delicious detail. But first, I just want to welcome everyone who is watching on Facebook, watching on YouTube, watching on Murder by the Book, watching on my channels, watching in our private Facebook group. No matter where you're tuning in from, welcome, friends. Welcome to your mystery and thriller home. We're so happy to have you. If you've been here before, you know how this works. And if you're new, here's how it works. Every Monday for hashtag Mystery Mondays, because Mondays can be murder, I give you my hand-picked featured authors, and you get to ask them anything about this book, this cover, the title, their writing process, what they took out, something secret. We're going to get right down into it here on the Mavens. So just get the questions going in the comments, and I will get them right over to Rachel. The beauty of Mystery and Thriller Mavens is this is your time, friends. This is your time to talk to your favorite authors, to meet your next favorite authors. So let's jump in. Leslie is saying hello from Canada. Leslie, top community member there. I love her Canadian. Hello. Great to have you back, Leslie. Always a pleasure. Thanks for tuning in. Now, Rachel, this book is racking up some red hot praise. So let's talk about it. So Publishers Weekly awarded you a starred review. You earned that. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And they raved this cleverly plotted, surprise-filled novel offers well-drawn and original characters, lively dialogue, and a refreshing take on the serial killer theme. Hall continues to impress. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Let's talk about how you did it. So, cleverly plotted, surprise-filled, refreshing take, continues to impress, hot praise. So what's your process like? Do you vigorously plot it out like Jeffrey Deaver? Do you fly by the seat of your pants like some of our other guests? Give us a peek into your day.
I am a plotter. I'm a planner. I have Post-it notes everywhere. I part of it is because I work a daytime job. Okay. And so I need that kind of guardrail to help me feel like I'm getting somewhere, and that when I sit down, I can check it off. I can feel good about where I'm going. And so I do plot it. But for this story, we're supposed to all be good writers, and you start collecting little things in your head, and everybody wants to write Silence of the Lambs their way. That is like the pinnacle of great serial killer character-driven novels. And so that's always been in my mind, but I didn't want it to be where the women victims are just kind of like an etc., a bauble, something like to move the plot forward. I wanted them to be, interesting, independent, different from the other type of women. And so I had all this Silence of the Lambs and making it different. And I read this book called The Geographer's Library or something like that, like a long, long time ago, the early 2000s. And the author did something clever with little illustrations about these, these things that they're talking about. And I'm like, I want to do that trick. And that's another thing that writers do. We collect tricks like magicians. Magicians are nothing but, bags and bags of tricks. And I wanted to do this trick, but I didn't know how. That just takes, a lot more reading, a lot of writing, being brave enough to try it, and having an editor in a publishing house who are like, okay, this is a little strange, but we dig it. I think we want this. So it took all those things to come up with Toxic Things. But yeah, lots of planning.
Ooh, well, thanks for the sneak peek into your process. I love that. I love to get behind the scenes, get on in there, very voyeuristic. Show us your day. Show us your day, Rachel. Oh my goodness. Michelle, welcome. She's saying Canada fans in the house. Yay,
Canada.
Welcome. Yay, Canada. Great to have you. We got 2 Canadians with us. Love having you. Welcome. Oh my goodness. We got Tracy Clark in the house.
Tracy?
Welcome. So great to have you. Oh my goodness. So I hosted Tracy. Tracy was on the show in June for her amazing book,
Runner.
Oh my God, so good. Tracy, it's so good to have you. Thanks for joining us to chat about these toxic things. Welcome. Anissa is saying hello, Sarah and Rachel from South Carolina. Anissa, welcome back. Top community member there. Great to have you. Ooh, Catherine's in the house. Catherine, welcome. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us today. She said this is a great review. Congratulations. It is a great review and a starred review. My goodness, congratulations.
Thank you.
This is so wonderful. Anissa is saying she can't wait to read this. Anissa, you're in for a treat. But don't read it at night, because I made a mistake of diving in. I was like, I'll do a little pre-bedtime reading. Take Rachel with me in the bath. Welcome to my bath, Rachel. I'm going to just relax. I'm going to zen out. You guys, I was checking all the doors and windows. They were locked because chapter 1 will leave you shook, y'all. It will leave you shook. I literally was like, what would I do? Oh my God, it's so scary.
And that's what makes I think the best mysteries and thrillers and suspense. Having people think, what would I do? Because we all do that. Every day we do that. It's like, would I reach for the door and try and hop out? Would I call a friend? Would I press the little thing on your iPhone and have it like go off? There's so many. It's so easy to say, oh, I would have. No, you don't know until you're in that situation, right? We all thought last year that we'd be quarantined for just 2 weeks, and now here we are. So you don't know. You have no idea. But fortunately, crime and mystery writers, we get to kind of see into the future and help you, with options. You choose your adventure thing. Yeah.
Ooh, I love that perspective. That is so true, because we do all think these secret thoughts, and I love that idea that here you are giving us some options, putting us literally in the scene of that experience in the pages.
Yeah.
I love that perspective. That totally works for my brain. So Anissa is saying she can't wait to read it. Anissa, grab your copy right now from Murder by the Book. Support independent bookstores, woman-owned independent bookstores. I'm putting the link right here in the comments. So click and grab the pre-order. You guys, you're going to love it. Okay. Sharon saying hi from Minnesota.
Hi, Minnesota. Sharon. I was hoping that I would be there next week, but for Open Book Minnesota, but alas, no. We're still going to have the Open Book thing on next Thursday. So maybe, Sharon, I'll see you there on the intertubes.
Yay! Oh my gosh, fabulous. Sharon, thanks for joining us. Top community member there. Always delightful to have you. Thank you. Tracy saying, hey girl. Hey, good to have you. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited she's here. Oh, Catherine. Oh my gosh. Catherine always asks the best questions. So let's Catherine, you and I were vibing. Let's talk about this cover. Catherine is saying she loves the cover. It is gorgeous. And she said, do you have any input into the cover and the title? And what's really, really cool about it is it's textured, you guys.
Yes, it is.
It's so yummy to touch. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the story of the title and the cover. Give us the inside scoop.
Okay, so the title, I came up with the title last year, but right when the pandemic was kind of bubbling around. Ooh. And at that time, I think we all started doing projects, right? And you're going through and looking through things you haven't seen in a while and remembering and looking at pictures. I'm also in the sandwich generation where I have older parents and a 17-year-old. So you're finding out family secrets from a long time ago, and you're wondering like, well, what's my family secret? So all these memories, all these things, they could be either wonderful or they can be toxic. And they have been toxic. You just haven't talked about it. But since, last year, you had nothing to do except think on these things, and they eat at you sometimes. And so that's where the title came from. And cover, yes, I do ask for some input for cover. My husband is a visual artist, so we are very much into the look of things, the meaning of things, and we wanted something creepy. We wanted something stark, like I love reds against blacks and whites. And the artists and Thomas and Mercer, they were very open to me and my critique, and they found these creepy ass flying things that look like two rabbits, which fit perfectly, since rabbits, you think about pregnancy and family, and here's a rabbit in a twisted family tree, and it all worked together. So yeah, it's a lovely cover. I absolutely love this cover.
I love the cover. And then did they say, Rachel, we have a surprise. It's gorgeous.
That was a surprise. It wasn't until I was on Instagram and someone posted that, and I'm like, I wonder whose book that is.
It's me. It's
mine. Oh my gosh. So that was an absolutely lovely surprise. I was, and I'd seen someone else's book, and they had these beautiful end pages, where they have the graphic and I was like, oh, that's so sweet. And then they showed the inside, and little did I know that I'd have that kind of sexy red, black branch thing going on there. So yeah.
Ooh, and yet another thing that I love about this book are the drawings of the items inside. So I'm going to open to one. I was not expecting I don't think I've ever read a book where the drawings where there's drawings in it. I haven't read a thriller where there's these beautiful, really beautiful drawings.
Yeah.
So
I wanted to capture Mickey's personality. She's, very curious, and she's artsy, and she likes flair, and she studied narrative studies. And so she's understanding these things, and she's sketching them. And there's something about memory and sketching that I also wanted to kind of put in there. And so as I was writing it, I'm like sketching out these little tchotchke things. And it's like, I wonder if they'll let me keep this.
Oh my God, Rachel, these are your drawings?
No. Mine were very, very rudimentary. Oh my gosh, no.
Mine would look like a stick man.
Yeah. Yeah. And so they loved it and got a true illustrator to do those drawings, which really lend themselves to those 13 items that she's curating. Yeah, I am so happy with this book. I really
love it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is so exciting. And Nisa is saying, so should I not read this to my kindergartners at school? LOL. This might be a little much for them.
Yeah, unless they're like me, who was reading like well beyond her. I probably shouldn't have been reading Flowers in the Attic when I was in 5th grade, but my parents.
Look what happened to you, Rachel. Look what you're writing now.
Yeah, it's like my parents took me to see Exorcist and Jaws when I was 7, so it's not my fault.
See, then you could be exactly. Anissa, this is your chance to influence those little kindergartners to impact the next generation of thriller writers. Someday they too could be nominated for the LA Times Book Prize. I mean, they could just follow in Rachel's footsteps. My goodness.
Yeah, no, it was weird in high school. I had a teacher who did not like me writing the dark stuff. And she would complain and I would not get the grade. And finally I figured out if I want to get this A, only because she wants to read a certain thing, I will get the A. And I would write these over the top kind of cynical, happy stories just to kind of like do like that and get my A. So yeah.
Get that A. Oh my gosh, I love it. Sharon is saying she will be there for your Minnesota event. She's going to be there. After this interview, Tracy, why don't you post what that is on your Twitter and Instagram just so that everyone else who's watching can be there too? Because this is the one good thing about the pandemic. We can log on from anywhere. So before I couldn't go to an event in Minnesota, but now I can.
Now we can.
So now I can. So this is so
I love
cool.
Minnesota.
Yay, me too. Monica is saying, I am so excited for this book. Monica, you and me both. You're going to love it. I am devouring it. I'm going to pop the link to grab your copy and support independent bookstore, woman-owned, in the comments right now. So grab it. You're going to love it. Okay, just put it in the comments. What else? Let me see. Okay. Christina is saying OMG. I know. I think that's when Tracy popped in. Christina, right? This is so exciting.
For real, Christina. For real.
And Nisa is saying, yes, this is creepy.
Yeah.
Sharon is saying just the word toxic is perfect for the story from what I've heard so far.
Yeah. No, toxic was like a natural word for this. And again, as we're all thinking about memories and, you know, how you remember things is different from how I remember things and how we hold on to things. Sometimes they're items. I mean, who does not know of an instance where after a funeral, people are fighting about Nana's watch or, you know, great auntie's, you know, first stole that no one wears. These things really don't mean anything, but they do. So yeah, it was a natural word for family dynamic. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm cringing because I have my grandmother's wedding china from 1936 and her beautiful wedding furniture from 1936. And I treasure, I know they're just material things and I tell myself that, but I love them so much, you guys. Yes. Like, I love them so much. They mean
But I'm sure somebody's side-eyeing you like, why'd she get that? Indeed. She didn't know, she didn't love her like I loved her. You know, that kind of like weird family dynamic where it's like, why are we arguing about Grammy's china? It's China. And, you know, it's a weird thing. And that's why, you know, the older I get, the more about, the more family stories I write because there are first relationships. They can be either, well, sometimes they're both lovely and then they're like straight jacked up. You know, they're very Jekyll and Hyde, our families. And I find that fascinating and terrifying and exhausting and inspiring. And, you know, I'll be writing about family and relationships forever and ever.
Yay. Family relationships are so tasty and give us so much to talk about.
Yeah.
Catherine is saying she said it is so creepy, which is what I like so much. It's so perfect for your husband to have that experience. Totally. To be a visual artist. You two are.
Yeah. We've always been this team. We've been married for 25 years. And I remember in our very early dating days that I would read my bad prose to him in my studio apartment in downtown Los Angeles. And he'd listen and, you know, he kind of creeped out some because I had all those, back in the day, everything's hard copies of these, how to poison people, murder weapons. Like I had a whole library and he's like, what am I kind of getting into? But he stuck around. And he has, he's actually, when it comes to his imagination, he goes even further. He's the one who tends to make me go further than what I want to go. Because all this stuff is scary to me. And that's the thing, you know, people, oh, you write things that are triggering. And it's like, yeah, I know. They trigger me. That's why I'm writing them. This is my therapy. This is my free therapy because all of this scares me. Right. And I don't drink enough to like forget this stuff and to numb it down. So I write about it. And he helps me go to that place that scares me so that I can understand it. Because, if you happen to, like we were saying earlier, if you happen to get some kind of insight from what I'm writing, I'm happy about that. But yeah, he's incredible, and he's been very supportive of me and my desire to write. He understands, and my daughter both understand that. Yes, I'm your mom. Yes, I'm your wife, but I'm also Rachel Howzell, who was this little kid who did nothing but read and write, and that's who I am and who I will always be. Take it or leave it. So they've taken it. Uh-oh.
I had myself muted. I said, we're taking it. You said, take it or leave it. I said, we're taking it because we like it. Absolutely. Sharon is saying, this is so cool. Sharon, I totally agree.
Yeah.
Okay. Anissa has a question. What was your biggest hurdle in writing this book? Great question, Anissa, as always. Rachel, what was it?
It was the second point of view character. Keeping that person ambiguous enough and knowing how to write an ambiguous character, that was pretty hard for me. The plot kind of, but it was the characterization of that anonymous person was pretty hard, because you have to kind of write broadly, but direct enough to give a person an idea who this person is. That was hard for me. The mom and daughter relationship, that was easy. I loved writing about Mickey and her mom and Mickey and her dad. In some ways, Mickey is my daughter and my eldest niece combined. There's very smart, sweet, beautiful young women who are very optimistic about life. It's weird that I am now old enough to write a character who's young enough to be her own character. That was weird, me being the mom character in a story, because that's how I saw myself. I saw myself as Corey and not Mickey. And that was a first, because up until this point, I've identified with Lou Norton in my Norton series, even Grayson Sykes, and now she's gone, and Miriam Macy in some ways. So this was my first time writing a story where my experience as a 51-year-old woman was not centered.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that was actually hard. Writing as a 24-year-old. I mean, I was 24 so many years ago, and things have changed since then. So I had to turn to my nieces and my daughter to say, what do you all even drink anymore? Because back in the day, it was Jack Daniel's Down Home Punch. And now there's these, White Claws. Like, what the heck is a White Claw?
Or just how a 24-year-old's life is centered in their phone and their social media. In the rules of dating are so different now.
Everything's different. Yeah. And there's, I sometimes read my reviews, and there's been some reviews who are like, Mickey is so self-absorbed. It's like, have you met a 24-year-old?
Yeah. Have you?
Because social media is nothing but one self-absorbed post after the other, where it's like, look what I'm eating, and look at me, and I'm interested in followers. What is that? That's who they are. I mean, they're lovely, lovely people, but they're different from us in that sense.
Yeah. And I noticed that women, the new generation of women, are more comfortable advocating for themselves, speaking up for themselves than I was.
Yeah.
They are more, courageous, more comfortable.
Yeah. I mean, you have posts with these girls with unshaved underarms, and it's like, oh my God, you didn't shave, because we were taught, that you present yourself and you're groomed all the time. I mean, not as bad as our mother's generation, but you don't go out of the house in pajama pants and a bonnet. Who does that? You don't do that, but they feel fine with that. And so capturing that kind of laissez-faire, I am who I am, in some ways, that was a hurdle, because it was in some ways foreign to me. And that's why she and Corey sometimes kind of butt heads in some ways, because while Gen X moms are very much friends with their Gen Y kids, there's still that kind of like weird generational divide where it's like, what do you mean? What does that even mean? Why are you still in bed? You need to get up and do something, right? Because our generation, we cooked, we took care of ourselves, we walked and, did all kind of random things. And this generation, they don't even want to get a license, a driver's license. So that was a hurdle in some ways.
I love that. Oh my gosh. Well, Anissa, thank you for the great question. Rachel, thank you for all these insights. I am loving this conversation and the behind the scenes hurdles of writing this book. Welcome, Keith. Welcome, Shelly. Welcome, Brad. Welcome, Randy. Welcome, Gail. Welcome, Andrew. Welcome, Angela. Welcome, Kristen. Welcome, everybody. Just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. This is so great.
That's like Romper Room. You remember Romper Room?
Yes. Oh my God, totally.
I see Tracy. Yeah. And you'd hope that she'd say your name, even though there's no way. Why would she? Yeah.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. Oh, exactly. I was both terrified and thrilled. I was like, please don't pick me. Pick me. Please don't say it.
That goose is like, pick me, but don't pick me. Because,
exactly.
Yeah.
Sharon is saying this is such a great idea. It really makes it stand out. Sharon, I totally agree. Catherine is saying such a fun idea with these drawings. Absolutely love that. Monica saying, no, I'm seriously so excited because I'm a professional organizer and I have a thriller work in progress about an organizer going through someone's massive amounts of clutter. So this book has me so excited. Oh, for an organizer, you need this app.
And that was because for some Instagram bookstagrammers, I did these kind of promotional packages. An idea I stole from Jess Lowry, who's incredible and just won an Anthony.
September 3rd for Murder by the Book.
Yes. And I went to thrift shops all around Los Angeles looking for toxic things to send along with, an arc of the novel. And it's like, people give away the most random things. I found letters and postcards and pictures, all these personal things that people just kind of collect and keep. And that was eye-opening to put together these boxes of other people's stuff and what they keep and what they value and what they toss.
Yes. Oh my God. That's so interesting and so true.
Yeah.
Catherine is saying, that's awesome, Sarah. Great memories. Oh my gosh. And Catherine, I was so close to my grandmother, my Nana DiVello. I mean, I spoke to her every day of her life, every day of my life, up until and including the day she died. I was so close to my grandmother. I love my grandmother so much. I miss her so much. I love her. And I love having her china and her furniture because even just smelling her drawers, which still smell like her perfume.
Visceral reaction. Yeah.
Nana. Oh my gosh. I love it.
Yeah.
Ooh, Catherine, great question. Was there oh my God, I'm here for this. Catherine would like to know, was there anything that you deleted or backed off from while writing these toxic things? Rachel, spill the tea.
No, the only thing I didn't want to do, I didn't want to write torture porn. We've all read those books where they kind of just go on and on about all the physical things that a murderer is doing to his or her victims. And I did not want that. I didn't want to glory in death that way. So I did back off from that. But other than that, I threw it all in. Of course, I couldn't write 150,000 words. So, some extraneous words I deleted, but the ideas, all that went into, I threw my back into this book. And I'm so glad that my editor's like, I love it. Because I really wanted this to be, the Christmas Carol, "Oh Holy Night," which is like if you can sing that. If you can sing that carol, you can sing anything because of the high notes and everything. I see this as my "Oh Holy Night" in some ways.
Ooh,
and so,
wow.
I just wanted to. If it was going to fail, I wanted to fail big. But this was at a moment when my career was like, I want to take a chance. And I want to put these weird little drawings in and these items. And I want it to be a story about this 24-year-old young woman and her parents and origin stories. What do I have to lose? I'm at that point in my life now where it's like, what do I have to lose? And fortunately, nothing so far. So yeah, no, I am at my most honest in this book.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I love that. I am at my most honest. And you know what's really fascinating? People can feel energy through the page. So you're sitting in your LA office, you're typing away, and
Yeah.
then however many months or years later, I am sitting over here in Boston and I'm reading it and
Yeah.
I am feeling that. I can
Aww.
tell when someone has spilled
Yeah.
that blood, sweat, and tears into that book. When someone has opened a vein and been like, "Here I am," instead of, and someone who's holding back and is withholding, we can feel that too. I mean, readers,
I
right?
agree. I agree. Yeah, I agree. And I wrote this during the pandemic. And my daughter, since she was, at the time she was 16 and not with her friends and sad and scared and all the things. And she helped transcribe, because I write longhand, my first drafts, all longhand. And she helped type some stuff in and she helped me with some editing. So in some ways, this was our project together in some ways. I had her do some sketches of the objects. I brought her into my process fully. And, she was old enough to do that. And that's how I got to learn again. So what do you young people, how do you say this thing? What do you do? What do you drink? And she's wearing my clothes. We wear the same shoe size. So she's in my stuff all the time. And so I could really relate to the women in these characters. And she's really close to her father, to my husband, and watching them during, especially the pandemic, all of that I was getting and feeding into this story. Yeah.
I feel that because I love seeing such a beautiful family, such a close family, a loving relationship between the parents and a loving father-daughter relationship and a loving mother-daughter relationship. It's very heartfelt. It's fantastic. And I just love what you said. I am at my most real. I am at my most honest in this book. Yes. I mean, I absolutely love that. Kay is saying, yay, Rachel. Kay, welcome. So great to have you. And Nisa is saying, I am loving this conversation. And Nisa, me too. This conversation is so heartfelt and so authentic. And I missed this comment from Tracy a while back. She said she's in the romper room.
Exactly.
See Tracy, welcome. You're in good company here with the rompers among us. This is fantastic. Okay, you guys, we have just 5 minutes left with Rachel. So any last questions, get them going in the comments. This is your chance. We're in the lightning round. We're in the lightning round. Get your fingers flying over these over the keys. So I have a private Facebook group, free and open to all. Everyone's invited, where we continue the conversation between shows and after shows. We talk about books. We talk about what we love. We're talking about reading. And I also let people submit questions in advance. And someone submitted this and I loved it. Rachel, which of the characters, what character or characters would you most like to be stranded on a desert island with, and why?
That's a great one.
Isn't that a great question?
That's a great one. I would say Lou Norton from my Lou Norton series. She's a homicide detective. She went to the same college as me. She is braver than me. We're sorority sisters, so we're very much alike. But again, she's braver than I am. So someone who would get my references, who would understand my need to be who I am. Definitely her. I love New, and I miss her a lot. I would also say Miriam Macy, who I wrote about in They All Fall Down. She is a soldier and a badass, and she will read you for filth. And sometimes we need those kind of gladiators in our life. So those two women are totally kick-ass, and I miss them both.
I think those are good choices for exactly these reasons. You're stuck on an island. You're going to want people like this to help you survive, to be braver than you, to help get you off that island. So, I think this makes a lot of sense. So thank you for the great question, and thank you for the great answer. Sharon said, I bet your daughter loved being your assistant. How did your daughter feel about this?
She loved it because, I actually gave her a little stipend. So,
she did love it.
She's an American teenage girl in a pandemic. So what are they all doing? They're buying stuff. So one, she liked that. Two, also, I get that. I get that totally. But she also liked seeing how stories evolved and telling me about her life and her friends' lives and what scares them. And the whole dating thing is totally different from, me back in the day where you just go to the Red Onion and you pick somebody up at Fridays. It's totally different.
Wait, how old is she, Rachel?
She's 17, but she has her cousins and her friends and, the whole YouTube and there's this whole life that I just kind of ignore that is like, Maya, tell me, what's an Instagrammer? What is that about? What's TikTok? So she liked sharing all that she knows about life with me, but she also understands the power of great sentences. She's in college application land right now. Ooh. That's what I'm doing when I'm not writing, when I'm not at day job. I'm doing essays and such with her. Mm-hmm. And I always tell her for her essays, strong first sentence. Strong first sentence. You gotta have that strong first sentence. And she gets it now because she sees, just how her essays differ now from her friends. It's like, I always tell her, I can't add. I am not a math scientist at all, but I can write. And when I'm telling you, write that first good sentence, then the rest will flow. So yeah, she liked sharing this, and I loved sharing this process with her.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Yeah. Welcome, Mark. Welcome, Dennis. Great to see you. Great to have you. And hi, guys. Another thing that I loved was your Kirkus review because, Kirkus, I think the New York Times called them reliably cantankerous and notoriously grumpy, but they love you, Rachel Howzell Hall. Am I saying your name right? I just want to make sure. Howzell. Is it Howzell?
Howzell.
Okay. Rachel Howzell Hall. They loved you. They loved this book. So that was really fantastic to see. And the legendary Hank Philippi Ryan raved. Yay.
Hank is awesome.
I'm just going to pop this up for a second because otherwise they can't see us. The brilliant Rachel Howzell Hall becomes the queen of mind games with this twisty and thought-provoking cat and mouse thriller where memories are weaponized, keepsakes are deadly, and the past gets ugly when you disturb it. As original, compelling, and sinister as a story can be with a message that will haunt you long after you race through the pages. Congratulations on that, rave. Amazing.
Thank you, Hank, forever and ever. She's been so incredible to me. She's been so
super supportive of other authors. She's coming on the show in September the 20th, I believe. I'm announcing my September lineup on Wednesday, so stay tuned, everybody, because it is hot. We're closing out August with the best right here, and we're starting September looking really strong too. So Hank will be on with us in September. But I mean, Rachel, what do you think, besides a strong first sentence, is the key or some keys to your success? Again, I mean, nominated for all of these incredible awards, the LA Times, book prize, getting praise like Lee Child, a fresh voice in crime fiction. Attica Locke, James Patterson, Sarah Paretsky, all of the greats praise you, love you, praise your abilities. You say you're this incredible up and comer and successful woman. What are some of the keys here to doing that?
I think it is. I try and write as honestly and as honestly as possible. I write, like I said earlier, because I'm scared of things, and I don't know much more than anyone else, and I'm trying to figure out this life things, and I use writing to help me talk. I'm a socialized hermit, and I push myself to be on, but my heart is writing and communicating through that. So when I am choosing to communicate, I try to be as honest as possible. And I think people see that. I write about things that I actually care about. For me, being a working mom, I don't have a lot of time. So if I'm going to write 90,000 words about something, I want to care about that. And I think that's what comes through. It's like, oh, you must really want to write about this. I get up at 4:40 every morning to write. And I am excited about it because I'm excited about what I'm writing about, because I care about what I write about. I tried back in the day when I couldn't get a book deal to write, about whatever was popular at the time, to, get on the trend bandwagon. But it's like, I can't. And I hate that I can't sometimes, because it's like, I want a quick buck, but I'm not built that way. Even in my day job, I have to spend my time doing something that is meaningful to me. And I think that comes through in the pages. And it may not be like the story everyone wants to hear, but I can look at it and say, I wrote that because I cared about that thing.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I wrote that because I cared about that thing. Yeah. I love that. What a perfect note to end on. Rachel, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Yeah, thank you. And exactly. I love my mystery and thriller fam. You guys are the best. You always have the best questions. You always have the best conversation. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for questions. Thank you for chilling out with us, listening to this in the dog days of summer, chilling out with us. It has been so fabulous to host you. And Rachel, any parting thoughts that you'd like to share with us? Anything you wish that I had asked? Anything that you want? Just anything last thing you want to share? Amazing.
Everything. But check out my website, www.rachelhowzell.com, for all those events that I'm doing, including the Minnesota event. There's a link for that. So check that out.
Okay, perfect. I am going to pop that right here in the comments. I just want to actually pop one more thing. Everyone, I just want to remind you, grab the book today because you're going to want to read this one. It's so good. And then come back and tell us what you think about it. I just popped the link to my Facebook group, again, free and open to all, into the comments so that you can read the book, and then we'll continue the conversation about it, because there's so much to talk about. You'll see, and let us know what you would do in chapter 1 if you'd reach for the pepper spray or your phone. And you'll know what I'm talking about when you get to it. Here is the link to Rachel's Rachel's website, which has the links to her Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. She tweets, she grams, she Facebooks, she does it all. So grab it right now, click it over, and I will see you all at 8:00 with Matthew Fitzsimmons. Rachel, thank you so much. This has been amazing. Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you.